before the oceans existed, it was a mother's grief. And before waves learn how to move, they learn how to cry. What you're about to hear is not a man. It is a memory the water has been carrying for thousands of years. Long before news, before nations, before time learned how to count itself, a mother loved so deeply that her sorrows becomes river. And today, it is speaking again. Welcome to Ancestral. This is Iyemoja Olokun, the ancient story of how the ocean was born. Rivers learn how to sing. Before the oceans knew it could roar, there was silence. Not peace, not rest, but a waiting silence, heavy, unfinished. Above everything was Olodumare, the supreme source, the breath behind all existence. Below was a dry, empty land, flat, cracked, and lifeless. No rain, no tears, no blood, no birds. And in that dry world, the spirits walked carefully because life had not yet been agreed upon. Among the Orishas, there was one whose heart was too full for such a silent world. Her name was Iyemoja. Iyemoja was not loud. She was not violent. She was not hungry for power. But she carried something dangerous. She carried love. Not the soft love people speak about today, but the ancient love that creates, destroys, and demands space. When Iyemoja walked across the dry earth, her feet felt pain. She would kneel, press her palm to the ground, and whispered, "Something is missing." Other Orishas laughed. "The world is stable," they said. "Dry land does not change. So much life brings chaoses." But Iyemoja was a mother before she had children. Inside her spirit, she would hear voices that had not yet been born. At night, when the sky dimmed, Iyemoja would look upward and speak to the unseen. She longed to bathe life, not just spirit, not just gods, but beings who could feel, suffer, choose, and remember. This desire was a taboo. Creation was not to be rushed. Balance was sacred. But Iyemoja's womb was not empty. It was waiting. And so, in secret, she unites with a celestial force, an ancient spark sent from Olodumare himself. From this union, twins form within her. Not ordinary twins, these children carry destiny. One holds the rhythm of breath, the other carries the rhythm of blood. If they were born, the world would never be the same again. The Orishas begin to feel it. The air changed. The ground trembled slightly beneath their feet. Something was coming. When they discovered Iyemoja was pregnant, fear spread through the spiritual realm. She did not ask permission. She wants to flood the world with feelings. Life will bring suffering. Mortals will question us. Even those who love Iyemoja grew afraid of what she carried. And fear, when mixed with power, becomes violence. The conflict did not begin with weapons. It began with words, accusation, warnings, threats. Then one oyster struck the ground in anger, and the war began. Fire clashes with wind. Stone broke the sky. Spirit fought spirit. Iyemoja ran. She ran not for herself, but for her unborn children. But the world was not ready to protect a mother. In the chaoses, a great spiritual force struck her womb. The sky screamed. Iyemoja fell, and in that moment, the twins were lost. Iyemoja did not die. Something worse happened. She felt emptiness where destiny once lived. She screamed, not a scream of anger, not a scream of revenge, a scream of grief, so deep that the universe could not hold it. Tears fell from her eyes. The fierce tears soaked into the ground. The ground cracked open. More tears followed. They became stream. Stream became rivers. Rivers refused to stop. Iyemoja wept until her body shook, and her sorrow poured out of her completely. Her tears flooded the world. Salt from her pain mixed with the earth. Her breath became tides. Her heartbeats become waves. And for the first time, water had a voice. But Iyemoja's tears did something else. They disturbed something ancient. Deep below the foaming waters, far beneath light, something opened its eyes. A presence that ruled before emotions. A being older than mercy. Olokun, the guardians of the deep, the keepers of secrets, the one who loves silence. Olokun felt the invasion of tears into the abysses, and Olokun was not pleased. The water began to churn. Their current twists beneath Iyemoja's grip. Storm cloud gathered. The oceans, newly born, began to choose a side. Iyemoja stood deep in the water, born from her sorrows, unaware that something beneath her was rising. Something ancient, something jealous, something powerful. And as the first wave leaped behind her, the world held its breath, because the mother of life was about to meet the rulers of the deep. The water that covered the earth did not rest. It moved like it was thinking. Iyemoja stood inside it, her long hair clinging to her back, her tears finally slowing. The world around her was no longer dry. Life had been born from grief. But grief, when left unattended, does not disappear. It transforms. The surface of the water was calm, too calm. No ripples, no birds, no wind. Iyemoja felt it before she saw it. A presence beneath her feet. Not ground, not stone, something alive. The water suddenly grew cold, then darker, then deeper. Iyemoja whispered, "Who moves beneath my sorrows?" The water did not answer her with words. It answered with movements from the deepest parts of where light had never touched. Olokun stared. Olokun was not born like any other. Olokun existed before tears, before laughter, before names. Where Iyemoja carries emotion, Olokun carries mystery. Where she felt deeply, Olokun watched silently. The abyss opened. The waters began to spiral. A towering presence rose. Not fully seen, not fully formed. Sometimes, Olokun appears as a vast shadow crowned with coral. Sometimes as a serpent made of darkness and pressure. And sometimes as neither male nor female, but both with beyond. When Olokun finally spoke, the sound did not travel through air. It traveled through bones. Who had broken my silence? The waves rose high. The sky trembled. Iyemoja did not step back. She lifted her chin. Her eyes filled with ancient pain.
I did not come to challenge you. I came because I could not hold my sorrow.
But your tears have invaded Mara. This depth was not made for feeling.
But feeling is what creates life.
Feeling create imbalance.
Olokun cycled her. The waters twist and pull, testing her strength. The waves exploded upward. Storm clouds torn the sky. Lightning struck the newborn sea. This was not a war of fate. It was a war of truth. Iyemoja raised walls of calm water. Olokun scattered them with crushing pressure. She tried to soothe the waves. Olokun turned them into whirlpool. The wall shook. If this battle continued, everything would be swallowed. As it clashes, Iyemoja felt something strange. Pain, not her own. She reached deeper, not with force, but with empathy. She saw it then. Olokun was not angry because of the instruction. Olokun was afraid. Deep in the abyss, Olokun guided something precious. Secret, ancient knowledge. The memory of the world before fall. The resting place of soul who had crossed from the existence into mystery. Life, loud and emotional, threatened that sacred stillness. Iyemoja softened her voice. You fear being forgotten. The water froze. Olokun stopped moving. No one had ever spoken that truth aloud. Iyemoja stepped forward. The waves resist, but she continued. She opened her arms, not to fight, to embrace. Let me carry the light above, she said, and you keep the mystery below. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the water shook. The Kelsey slowed. The ocean split itself. The surface became warm and alive. The depths became dark, heavy, endless. Iyemoja merged with the upper waters, river, tide, current fertility. Olokun sank back into wealth, secret, pressure, transformation. Balance was formed, not with victory, but by understanding. From the calm surface waters, Iyemoja gathered clay. She mixed it with salt from her tears. She shaped figure with clay. Into them, she breathed rhythm. The same rhythm that moved the tides. Blood carried salt. Acts followed cycles. Emotion flowed like waves. Thou, humans were born. Children of water and earth. Capable of love. Capable of grief. Capable of forgetting where they came from. Before Olokun finally returned to the abyss, a final message rose from below. If humans disrespect the waters, If they forgot balance, I will remind them. The sea darkened for a moment, then calm. Look upon humanity with both pride and fear. She knew what was coming because life had begun. And where life exists, conflicts always follow. Far away, iron changed against stone. A new Orisha sharpened his tool. Ogun, war, progress, blood. The waters trembled again. Iyemoja closed her eyes because the war was about to test her love, and this time a sacrifice would be demanded. Humanity multiplied. Children were born near rivers. Villages rose beside streams. Songs followed the rhythm of tides. Iyemoja watched. She taught mothers how to carry life. She taught elders how to heal with water. She taught children how to listen when rivers spoke. And she gave humanity one law, a law so simple, it sound harmless. Respect what gives you life. In the early days, humans knew they did not pollute the river, they did not shout curses near water, they did not drew blood into stream. When a child cried near the river, the mother apologized. When a fisherman took too many fish, he returned one. Water was not just water, it was mother. But as villages grew, memory weakened and iron began to sing. Ogu descended quietly. Where he walked, trees fall. Where he walked, road appeared. Where he stayed too long, blood followed. Humans loved Ogun. He gave them tools, weapon, fire shaped by mental. But Ogun was not taught balance. He taught strength. Axes chopped forests near sacred rivers. Iron tools spice fish without prayer. Blood from war flow into stream. Iyemoja felt it immediately. The waters grew restless. Iyemoja rose from the riverbank and appeared in dreams. To elders, she said, tell them to stop. To warriors, she whispered, wash your hands elsewhere. To Ogun, she spoke directly. Your fire burned too close to my children. But Ogun laughed, not cruelly, but blindly. Progress demands sacrifice. Those were his words. And those words cracked something ancient. Then the river stopped being gentle. Children fell ill near stream. Fish floated lifeless. Flood came without rain. And humans cried out. Mothers of waters, why? Iyemoja wept again. But this time, her tears burned because of love. When disrespected becomes sorrow, and sorrow, when ignored, becomes judgment. Deep below, Olokun felt it, blood in the water, mental echoing through the depths. The abyss does not forgive easily. Chains of currents wrap around the sea floor. Storms stretch their limbs. Olokun rose just enough to speak. You want them. Iyemoja nodded. They did not listen. Then balance must be restored. Iyemoja knew what that means. And for the first time since losing her children, she was afraid. Olokun demanded stillness. The world demanded correction. But humanity would not survive the full weight of the deep. So Iyemoja made a choice no mother should ever make. She would descend not as a ruler, but as an offering. Let me carry their disobedience, she said. Let me calm the storm from within. Olokun studied her. If you go, you will not return the same. Iyemoja smiled sadly. A mother never does. Then the water parted. Iyemoja walked forward, each step heavier than the last, and she sang. The surface grew calm. As she sang, storm quietened. As she sang, humans felt an ache they could not name. She descended into darkness, into pressure, into memory. She did not fight it, she became it. Her essence spread through the river, every water, every ocean, every thread, even far above the calm surface. Humanity lived on, but something was missing. A softness, a closeness, a voice that once walked among them. And deep below, Olokun watched, waiting, because the story was not finished. The children of water would forget again, and when they did, the ocean would answer. Iyemoja never returned to the surface, but she never left it either. She became the quiet presence in every stream, the strength beneath every wave, the comfort in every tear that fall without words. Wherever water moves, she listens. In the drift, Olokun sealed the balance. The surface water would nurture, the depth would transform. Olokun kept the secret of souls. Iyemoja kept the memory of love. When humans crossed from life to death, their spirit passed through waters, guided by currents, shaped by both orishas. This was the sacred agreement, and for a long time it held. Centuries passed. Humans forgot the old song, forgot the taboo, forgot the names of the water that rise there. Then came chains. Sheep caught into, then came chains. Sheep caught across the ocean like wounds. Blood and tears fell into the sea altogether. Children cried in languages the waves remembered. The ocean shook. Iyemoja felt it all. She wrapped the lost in currents. She carried prayers no one would speak aloud. She kept soul from disappearing into nothing. That is why the ocean mourns at night. It is not anger, it is remembrance. If you stand near the sea and feel something pull at your chest, this is not imagination. That is your ori, remembering its source. The water knew your name, even when you do not know yourself. That is why drum feel familiar, why dream comes alive near rivers, why saltwater feel like home. Iyemoja never abandoned her children. She followed them in waves. Ancient elders say, water does not forget. Every action returns, every prayer echoes, every disrespect is recorded, but so is love, so is healing, so is the moment you choose to remember who you are. One day, humans will listen again, not all at once, not loudly, but one soul at a time. When that happens, Iyemoja will rise, not in form, but in consciousness, through clean water, through restored balance, through awakened ori. So when you touch water, pause. When you cry, let your tears fall freely. When the ocean calls, do not fear. It is not calling you to drown, it is calling you to remember, because before you add a name, before you add a story, you wear water, and water never forgets its children. If this story touched something ancient inside you, then you already know this is more than entertainment. Subscribe to Ife Ancestral Folktale so these stories are never lost again. Share this with someone whose spirit still remembers, because the ancestors are watching and the water is still listening.